Welcome out YouTube. Pull day is about to go down, but first I do have my boys and girls to check up on, as we do have a big weekend of competitions going down this weekend. We've got the Muscle Contest Island, and Dara and Ryan will both be competing in Classic. So I am very much looking forward to seeing them on step on stage. They are both looking absolutely on point. So first, replies to the boys and girls, and then I will go over the session for you and fill you in on what is on the menu for today's back workout. So stay tuned. You are having a wonderful day, whatever you are doing, watching this. Hopefully you're not watching this whilst you're working, and most of you are probably watching this whilst eating. So if you're eating, hope you are having a fantastic meal. Today's session, 4 back exercises, 1 back for rear delts, 1 rear delt exercise and 1 bicep exercise. Total volume for the session is 15 working sets. We have 10 direct sets for back work, split into 7 working sets for lats predominantly, and into 3 working sets for direct upper back work. Now, you have to always remember, when you train your back, you can only target one division of your back more than the other. You cannot truly isolate your back, and you should never try to completely isolate a division of your back. Your exercise setup and execution will dictate which portion of your back you actually target more over another. Back training is back training. All exercises train your entire back. Do not try to get too fixated on a single arm pull down, just targeting your lower lat. Guess what? You put 4 plates on that pull down, your entire fucking back is doing the work. So focus on good execution, good exercise setup, full range of motion, control and effort. 5 principles of hypertrophy. Before we get into the bulk of the work, we do have some single arm pullover to do. I have already done my planks. The reason why I do my planks before my back work and before all exercises really is I do want to be self-aware of control of the abdomen and bracing. Your bracing in your abdomen is the foundation of all of your exercises. If you have no control over your core, you have no control over your spine. If you have no control of your spine, it will be much harder for you to actually execute majority of your back work and chest work, and I'll be frankly honest, all of your exercises. So your core is the foundation. A little bit of work to prime your core and be mindful of your core engagement is always going to help before you go into your back training, specifically because your back work especially is going to need a good degree of abdominal bracing and control. Exercise number 1, we've got single arm Nautilus pull down. If you have no access to a machine pull down, you can equally do this on a cable station. So there's no excuses, guys. You can always start your session off with a pull down variation of some sort at least. My preference is to actually train the lat to begin with. Main reason for that is, guys, your lats can never be big enough. A big lat means a wider, thicker, stronger back. So always prioritize the area of your back that needs more attention, and arguably the lat is always going to be the smaller portion of your lat in comparison to most people's upper backs. So starting your pull sessions, begin with a lat pull down movement. Machine or cables, down to your preference and accessibility. Single arm pull down 101. Pull yourself in using non-working side arm. Core braced, spine stays neutral. No extension for your thoracic or the lumbar spine. Make sure that your spine is straight from the bottom of your spine, the base, all the way to the very top. Then maintain that posture throughout for a strong abdominal brace. From that position, extend your arm forward and away from you, leading with your elbow. Pause once you reach full stretch and your lat stretch around the rib cage. Then I want you to drive your elbow down and into the pocket of the hip. Two working sets on this exercise, guys. We've got top set of some sort, so heavier set, and then back off set. A set that is simply lowering weight. That's all top set and back off set means. Generally, we use it on certain exercises that do not have adjustability and resistance profile, like this machine here. On other movements, where we can manipulate resistance profile, we will just stick to the same rep range. On this, set number 1 is 8 to 10, set number 2, 10 to 15. And this allows us then to have a heavier set, then the back off set with slightly lower load, higher rep work, and arguably even better execution. Give us a lift off that, please. Or I'll have to. Fucking bastard. Yep. Yep, Baba. Just so I'm able to keep my rep range above 8 reps. The rep range that I work on this exercise is again 8 to 12 reps. Rep range is exercise specific. You have to pick the rep range that allows you to stay accurate with that given exercise. All of my back work tends to sit around 8 to 12, maximum 15 reps, because that is the rep range that allows me to stay productive and accurate with all of my back training. Three, 2, 1. You can do this either on a cable, or even a better option would be doing a single arm dumbbell row, especially if you are a beginner. I have done my fair share of compound work for my back work. The reason why I am using machines at this moment in time is because they are very direct and specific to what I need. Now, most of you watching this, guys, if you are still in the first 5 to 10 years of your training journey, you still need to prioritize some of your free weight compound movements that do challenge your stability and coordination, like bent over barbell row, like the single arm dumbbell row. So exercise number 2, you've got options of doing a single arm machine row, single arm cable row, or a single arm dumbbell row. For the beginner, dumbbell row would be my go-to. And that is what I did for many, many years before graduating to needing to do machine work for very direct, specific stimulus for my back. Yep. Exercise number 3, upper back prime row. This is going to be an exercise that targets your entire back, but predominantly the goal here is upper back. So the goal is taking our scapula through as much range of motion as possible. The spine remains fixed. Again, all of the range comes from actual protraction and retraction of the scapula as opposed to spinal flexion and extension. We train our spinal flexors and extensors in a 45-degree hyper or a hip hinge. Upper back training is best suited to a chest supported row, and you need to actually make sure that you remain in a fixed position with your chest braced into the pad. So no excessive movement of the spine. Spine remains locked in. And then the cues that I love for this is, again, hiding my pecs from my shoulders as I come into a stretch, reaching forward and up, and then driving my elbows through and back. Aiming to quite literally hide my t-shirt with my entire back, wrapping my scapula around the spine. 2 working sets here, guys. Execution for a single arm row. The principle behind your posture remains exactly the same as the pull down. You want your core braced, no movement for the spine. It stays completely fixed. The only thing that wants to move is your upper arm tracking forward and up. So the cue that I like to use is driving my elbow forward and away from me, straighten out the arm without overreaching. Again, you should feel a stretching sensation in your lat and your back. Pause once you reach full stretch with no torso rotation, and then drive your elbow down and into the pocket of the hip. Use your non-working arm as a bracing point for more stability, with your feet planted into the ground, with your pelvis tucked. Super simple. Essentially, the only thing you want to move is your upper arm extending forward and up and away from you, and then down and in. Slight semi-supination to get your shoulder externally rotated and keep that arm tracking close to your rib cage. No 50-50 reps. The biggest mistake people make with intra-workout drinks is, 1, not mixing enough water with the carbohydrates they're taking in. I would always want to see at least 250 mils of water per 10 grams of carbs. You want to have good digestibility with this, but also carbohydrates require water. So hydration is essential, especially in your workout. Another mistake people make is they do not drink the intra-workout. They like to drink it in a big lump, either at the start of the session or end of the session. I think both have their flaws. If you are looking to maximize the benefits of the intra-workout, I would always favor starting to sip this as you start your warm-up sets, and then always aim to finish it by the second to last exercise. This way, you are fueling your actual training session during the training. And this is even more important in a contest prep setting when your food is lower and inevitably gastric emptying is much quicker. So after that pre-workout meal is eaten, you are probably empty within 60 minutes. I promise you, an intra-workout makes a massive difference to your energy and your training performance in your sessions. So unlock your gains with an intra. Code Kuba 10, trained by JP. 2, 1, oh, yeah. What is up, guys? If you want to level up your game as an athlete and a coach, our MK Mentorship program is here to help you. Our mentorship program is designed to educate you, inspire you, and give you the support that's needed to deliver excellence within your coaching community and beyond. You will have access to endless resources to upskill your knowledge, and you will get direct support from myself, my coaches, and our MK Excellence program team to give you all the tools, the knowledge, the support, and inspiration to be excellent and continue to deliver as an athlete and a coach. If you want to get involved, get in touch at teammkcoaching.com and we'll reach out soon. This is the best row that is in existence right now. You can actually do this exercise using a dumbbell on an incline bench if you do not have access to a low row. The principle of this exercise, you want to move in from a low to high plane of motion. This exercise in particular is going to target your upper back, but also your upper lat fibers and your traps. So this movement is a perfect exercise for me to finish off my back on, targeting my entire back. The lat, upper lat, traps, upper back. So that is the exercise I always like to finish off on. The beauty of this machine as well is that it allows you to load the stretch quite heavily, so you can actually get a lot out of this when you are pretty much spent at the end of your workout. Alternative to this, guys, you can use any low row exercise, or you can use a low pulley cable row. And the way you can adjust that exercise is putting a couple of plates or even some blocks to sit under to elevate your position so you are pulling in this plane of motion. The beauty of slightly higher frequency training is that you get to train with a little bit less volume per session, but you get to train more frequently, which gives you more opportunity to improve. However, you have to manage your recovery and you have to make sure that your volume is appropriate and it is the volume that you can recover from. The goal is to be able to train, do your sets, go home, recover, come back, do it all again but better. Or if you are in a calorie deficit, at least be able to retain the strength and the numbers that you have in your training partner, aka the logbook. Write it down. Write it down, quite literally, write it down. Single arm cable curl. I much prefer using unilateral work. One, you can get freedom motion at your wrist, but two, you can actually get into a more comfortable position which prevents joint pain over time as you start to load your bicep work. Most people get connective tissue pain from using bilateral movements in a fixed plane of motion, a fixed position. So one way to actually mitigate this is using single arm on a preacher curl or an incline bench like I am here. That bracing point will give you more stability and allow you to really train your bicep in full isolation. So make sure you try it and let me know how you get on. Three working sets on the single arm cable curl, and I do like to perform my rep sets here. I can get much more volume within a small amount of sets and keep my loading the same across all three sets. If you are looking to condense more volume into the working sets that you have, my rep sets is definitely my go-to. In simple terms, guys, it's just a rest pause set. My goal is to match reps across all three sets with the same weight. So set number one, I did 12 reps. Set number two, I did 10 reps, and 4 reps I actually overachieved, which is fine. Now set three, I just did 9 reps, and I'm going to go for another 3 now. Right, single arm cable curl. I much prefer using cables because I can get a freedom of motion at my wrist and I can actually get into a much better position. Bilateral work for me is no-go because I often end up getting elbow pain and bicep tendonitis because I have no ability to actually move my arm into a comfortable position that allows me to take my bicep through full range of motion without forcing myself to get into correct position. So unilateral work allows me to get into the position that I need comfortably to take my bicep through its full range of motion. I much prefer using a preacher bench or an incline bench like this to get more stability out of allowing my armpit and my upper arm to simply sit on the edge of the bench, driving my arm into the bench as I curl through, full range of motion, hard contraction. Then as I come into the stretch, I focus on pushing my fist up and away from me in a controlled fashion, take a pause in the stretch, and then a forceful contraction on the way back up. Key for bicep work is training with weight that allows you to keep good execution, full range of motion, control, And the internal stimulus has to stay on the bicep. If you get any connective tissue pain training your bicep, you are probably ego lifting and you need to drop the weight. Final exercise for the day, using my hard body lifting cuffs. And the way I actually use these is I actually hold them in my hands. I much prefer putting my hand through for a rear delt cable fly and applying pressure on the outside of my hand. So the way I like to do these is this way. Loop these on, make sure you use hard body, hold Kuba, and then once these are actually applied on the hooks, I do not tighten them up all the way. The both rings actually keep it closed, so there's no need for that. All I do then is get it tight enough so I can get a firm grip, cross the arms, grip it, and then apply pressure on the outside of my hand, cueing, reaching out and back. Beautiful. Now, key points for a rear delt cable fly. First, fix your posture, get your core braced, and you actively want to lean forward slightly. From that position, get your hand through the cuff, reach forward and up, allowing your shoulders to protract slightly, and then I want you to focus on reaching out rather than back. So slight protraction, apply pressure on the outside of your hand, inside the cuff, and then think about driving through this plane of motion, reaching out and back at the very end. No excessive movement through your shoulder. A little bit of protraction and a little bit of movement through the scapula is completely fine. So do not try to restrict your shoulder movement in any exercise. All right, final set of the session about to go down. And we have my MPS Max with 1 magnesium. I take 6 magnesium per day, which on label to some, it might sound like it's 6,000 milligrams of magnesium. It's actually not, because you only absorb a portion of that. So let's say we absorb maximum 250. You need to look at the elemental magnesium amount that you are getting, not actual full amount of magnesium, as the absorption of that full amount of magnesium that is on the label is sometimes around 100 milligrams per 1,000 milligram serving, up to 200 milligrams like JP's. So essentially, I'm getting around 1,200 milligrams of magnesium per day, which for me, at my body weight, amount of training that I do, is about the right amount. Average Joe, I would always recommend around 500 minimum per day, which would be around 3 capsules. So half of my intake, basically. Hope you liked today's video. If you are looking for info on our coaching or mentorship, please visit Team MK Coaching site. Info in the description down below. And if you are looking for Trade by JP supplements, the best supplements in the market, code Kuba 10 is the one. Code Kuba with Hardbody. By using my links, guys, you are supporting me directly and supporting the channel. And if you want to support the channel, as always, comment and make sure you're subscribed. Peace out, guys. I'm going to enjoy my cod. Beautiful.